Today. Other interesting cultural news, you have Elon Musk tweeting about Meta enabling child exploitation, but Disney still pays to put advertisements on that platform. Now, this after you had controversy of Disney threatening and then subsequently removing paid advertisements on X Twitter when Elon allegedly said something that was anti-Semitic. The most morally vacuous and I would argue, well, dark humor, hypocrisy being IBM pulling their advertising dollars off of X Twitter after Elon said something. When IBM, you can make the argument that they are perhaps one of the most morally vacuous companies since the dawn of time. Look up a book by Edwin Black. It's called IBM and the Holocaust. Spoiler alert, IBM had the punch card technology that enabled them to track people, trains, products, and they took the census that allowed Germany to identify all the Jewish community, and all the numbers that were later inscribed on their arms, they were all made, tracked by IBM. And yet IBM said, oh yeah, Elon, we don't like what you said, we're going to pull our funding. So that was, to many people, I think, kind of a signal that it wasn't really about what Elon had said I think he had some poor taste comment, but it wasn't really about that. It was about, I would say most people, I would agree, it was him about not giving in to the general census and wanting and allowing more freedom of speech. Now, again, Elon actually came in and he got rid of a lot of the child exploitation that were previously subsequently on X Twitter. In fact, I forget the name of one of the executives at X Twitter that actually found child material on his personal device, which perhaps is kind of just goes to show you what used to work at X Twitter. Now, Elon said, quote, Meta staff found Instagram tool enabling child exploitation. The company pressed ahead anyway, and yet Disney spends billions on advertising on Meta. And there's an article linked to the Wall Street Journal, and it talks about how the platform was enabling the most morally vacuous act, I would argue, ever. And Elon got 14.8 million views and 84,000 likes. Now, Elon Musk also said New York Times too, and it goes to an article saying the marketplace of girl influencers managed by moms and stalked by men, which is quite concerning. They got 11,000 likes. Scrolling down, you have Ashley St. Clair saying, quote, for those who don't want a paywall, Wall Street Journal says, quote, Meta staff found Instagram tool enabling child exploitation. The company pressed ahead away. Employees offered suggestions to reduce the risk of misuse of subscription accounts featuring minors. Meta took another approach, saying its programs were well monitored, unquote. They got 1.3 thousand likes. Robbie Starbucks said, quote, there's a war on children and Disney not only doesn't care, they're contributing to it, getting 1.2 thousand likes. You also have Tim Young saying, quote, funny how they allow that, but labeling my Instagram meme with a Hunter Biden pic of him wearing a scarf, adult content, and restricting my account for months, unquote, getting 1.2 thousand likes. Well, yes, there's the famous meme of being in Facebook jail, and it is quite telling when there's only one category you're not allowed to criticize on Facebook. You can make all the jokes you want if you want to be about old white guys or Christianity or Catholicism. Those jokes will always be on the platform. However, there are a couple other categories. If you even hint at a joke, they're supposed to be taken down immediately. I can't tell you the number of times, and I'm a part of a couple meme groups, including tech memes I find pretty entertaining as well. But there are a couple of those meme groups where you look at it, you see it on the screen for a second, and when you click on the comments, it says, "Oh yeah, this page is down for this post has gone down for maintenance," which is a nice way of saying they're erasing it from history. Now going back to a couple other comments here. Someone by the name of General TM said, quote, I prefer a social media platform that doesn't allow pedophiles, and quote, getting 326 likes. You have Dave Benner, Nemesis, and Neocon saying, quote, the FBI can quickly pinpoint anyone who leaks classified documents within days, but didn't uncover a single Epstein-Maxwell client in years. This tells you everything you need to know about their priorities, unquote, getting 505 likes. Which, yes, it's all about, what do they really want to do and what are their real objectives? Where are they really putting their effort into these things? Jack Smith says, quote, Disney needs to go bankrupt. We need to see it, unquote, getting 494 likes. Red Wave Press, which A+ for marketing, the profile picture is in fact of a red tidal wave. Though it would be even more perfect if the tidal wave was actually crashing upon an old printing press. But nevertheless, the Red Wave Press says, quote, Disney has proven that they hate free speech and has no problem supporting child exploitation on meta platforms. Is two-faced, unquote, getting 256 likes. I wonder if anyone's going to bring up the Uyghur Muslim camps or concentration camps in China where, Disney cares about, they say they care about human rights, and then they'll actually go film a production over in, communist China where they quite literally have concentration camps. Interesting. The hypocrisy is quite unpalatable. I wonder if there's any contrarian statements here. Let's see. Ellie simply says Meta is pathetic and Disney is such a disappointment. And there's a meme that says Disney to do remake of Snow White, and it's Snow White using a urinal with all the seven dwarves looking up astonished and scared. They got 116 likes, and I'm surprised they actually didn't Photoshop the biological man who wears dresses, who works at Disney. They employ this person and actually sells dresses to little girls at Disneyland. Or Disney World, I can never remember which one is which. It's all a magical place, I'm told. Scrolling down, you have Ryan Sheed saying, quote, You support domestic terrorism and a convicted rapist? Nothing changes that fact? While that is mentally vacuous, it got 119 likes. This person does not even elaborate on what that means. Not a very compelling response. It is contrarian to someone who's saying something against Elon, but again, not very compelling. And granted, I know you're limited on the number of characters you can use in your post and your response on X Twitter, but yeah, not very good at compelling because you didn't bring up the two things you're talking about. So if someone isn't, again, I don't see how in any way Elon supports those things. See here, going down a little bit more. Let's see here. The architect said, quote, Parents offering up their own children to pedophiles online shows you exactly how close we are to a societal collapse of epic proportions, unquote. Getting 295 likes. Scrolling down. Matthew J. Show simply says Disney equals evil, unquote, getting 14 likes. Fox, though not the news, it's a lady. And she has stars, the star emoji in her profile, but not a picture of a fox, or emoji of a fox. That just is a fail. But nevertheless, this alleged fox says absolutely disgusting and 34 likes. And interestingly enough, given the U.S. government and how they seem to be more and more open about their selective prosecution, I don't think Meta will ever get in trouble on a federal level just because they make the right donations, they make the right people look good. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg donated $400 million during, I believe, it was the 2020 election or 2022 midterms, I forget, but it was an unfathomable amount of money. And, I mean, let me know in the comments if you think differently, but I just don't see Facebook being held accountable anytime soon for this. I mean, in any rational world, they would certainly be held accountable for this most moral, vacuous act. But let me know, do you think Facebook will ever face any actual charges for this? Or do you think they'll ever actually do anything to fix the problem? As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback on how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.